So who could have killed Saline? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
You know where she went, Jacob. You're lying. Why would I help you if you keep lying to me?
Look, I'm telling you, I don't know.
We know she went to the Bomba Club.
The bartender there, he calls me if things are getting out of hand, and I go and I bring her home. He called me last night. I said no. Phone rang a couple more times after that. I ignored it. I'm gonna have to live with that.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
That's a lie, and you know it. You tailed her, watched her come out of a bar, and then beat her to death. Admit it, Henry.
Why would I do that, Detective? My wife was a drunk. It was a sickness with her. Doesn't mean I didn't love her. Would you stop loving your wife if she was unwell?
No, I wouldn't. Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
I don't believe you, Jacob. I think you didn't have the guts to do it yourself, so you had someone else do it.
You want to back that up with something, Big Mouth? Huh?
The note by the phone suggests you meant her harm.
You want the truth? Truth is, I was sick to death of her. I was trying to have her committed.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
Okay.
Not being rational.
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective.
Any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. In regards to the Saline Henry homicide, the owner of the Turkey Bowl restaurant at 1535 West 3rd Street says the victim was at his restaurant last night.
Turkey Bowl Restaurant. We'll check it out.
You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Carruthers said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're going to get.
The king of refreshment for that anytime.
You don't pay. I'm going around there with a baseball
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're working a murder case. Mrs. Saline Henry, you called in?
Yeah, the name's Joe Nesco. This is my place.
You saw Mrs. Henry in here last night?
Until about 1 a.m., having dinner with a friend.
Doing more drinking than eating.
You got that straight.
Mrs. Henry was seen leaving another establishment in the company of a man. Did the two of them come here?
Yeah, I remember seeing her with a guy.
Did you see them leave?
They got into his old Pontiac. Dull brown colored. I got a look at the license plate. 2B8899.
You have a name? Description, maybe? Come on, Mr. Nesco. We need something more to go on.
Smallish guy. Maybe 5'7". Dark complexion. Latin looking.
What time did the two of them leave?
Around 2 a.m. They were talking pretty loud. She had a black eye. Said her husband gave it to her. Said she was going to have him committed.
Was she a regular in here?
No. I mean, I wouldn't have recognized her face among the usual crowd.
You're lying. He's a regular. At 1 a.m., you bring people to places you know.
I've seen him around, but I don't know his name.
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? Was the place busy last night?
Sure was.
So how come you paid so much attention to her?
She had something. For an older broad, I mean. Not good looking, but vivacious, full of life. I've always found that kind good in the sack. I was thinking about trying my luck, but that guy she was with had her wrapped up tight.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Nesco. Thanks for your time.
Can't decide between a tuna fish and a chicken.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in. Thanks.
Broad has socks in it.
Where the hell's he going with that?
Look, Pops, just hand over the money, okay?
All right, young fellow, okay. Oh, hold your horses. I'm getting the money.
I ain't afraid to drill you, you know.
Hey, careful with that trigger fingernail. You look the nervous type.
Plug the old bastard, Lefty. If I gotta come in there, I'm spraying lead, you old coot.
LAPD, drop the weapon!
Watch your shots, Cole.
This is KTI, a member of the American Century.
Mendez could be our man. You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Goddamn boys are having a season from hell.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
You could be at that, but you don't want to cross the skipper, Phelps. Not a great move in your first day. He wants Henry re-interviewed.
How'd you like losing your cherry, rookie?
It might be my first day here, but I've had extensive experience on other desks in the department. I think you're aware of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've been a pain in the ass before today as well.
And I shall continue to be until the end of time. We have a firm lead, Captain.
Are you questioning my judgment call, Phelps?
No, sir.
Good. I thought not. Jacob Henry is a sub-sister pushed around by his wife. I think with the right kind of persuasion, he might be prepared to seek absolution. Are you prepared to show him the error of his ways, young Phelps?
I don't think he's our man. Galloway agrees with me.
Don't drag me into this.
Rusty is a practical policeman. A bird in hand is always worth two in the bush. Let's liberate a confession from poor Jacob, and the public will sleep easy tonight. Run along now, Phelps. I've warmed them up nicely for you.
Canary says he'll sing, but I guarantee
Doesn't
he'll
look good,
walk.
Jacob. You're in a big jam here. You lie to me, and I can't help you out. Do you understand me?
Yes.
What do you do for work, Jacob?
I'm a mechanic. Engines, differentials, transmissions, that kind of stuff.
So you have access to tools?
Yes, I do.
Your wife was brutally beaten with a socket wrench handle, then stomped to death. How do you think that looks, Jacob?
I was home in bed.
You're full of shit, Jacob. The truth is you hated that bitch. You followed her and dragged her into the car and then took her out to the moors. She woke up and you smashed her face in with a socket wrench.
No. No, 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 no.
And then you stomped her. You stomped her because she's a drunken whore and she treated you like shit. You stomped her for all the years you had to take it. You stomped her because you are such a weak fucking sister, Jacob, and you wanted to erase all memory of it. Go on. Try to deny it.
I was at home. I should have gone to her at the bar, but I didn't. You can't prove I wasn't home.
Looks like I was mistaken. Sorry, my mistake. You were at home in bed while your wife was putting out to some stranger? What kind of man are you, Jacob, that you allow that?
You son of a bitch. You got no right talking about my wife like that.
You did it. Everything points to you. What does Tex mean, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You used your wife's lipstick to leave us a message. Was it a cry for help, Jacob?
Well, the last time I didn't kill my wife. I'm done with you. You should charge me or let me go. If not, I'm going to get myself a lawyer.
Your marriage was over. You took her in and she threw it back in your face. You didn't go over there to hurt her. It just got out of hand.
It's not how it was.
You're lying, Jacob. It was falling apart and things got violent.
I'm not lying. I'm telling you how it was.
The owner of the Turkey Bowl restaurant said that she was telling the whole diner how you knocked her around.
It's all right, Jacob. The DA will understand. In your shoes, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I hit her, all right? I'm not proud of it, but she was coming at me with a frying pan. What would you do? Took it for years, but sometimes a man can only take so much.
Why did you break into your wife's house, Jacob? Why steal the ring?
What? What are you talking about? I've got a key. Why would I need to break in?
Where did you hawk the jewelry, Jacob? Do you know how cheap you're going to look to the grand jury? Husband murders wife and sells her jewels.
I didn't break in. How many different ways do you want me to say it? I may not have a fancy job, I may not have a lot of money, but I still have my pride, you dirty son of a bitch.
I don't see any way out of this unless you give us something.
Phelps, you failed me, son.
We have another lead, Captain. This guy Mendez could be our man.
I hope so, Phelps. I really hope so. I'm deeply disturbed by your style of police work.
We can still pull down a conviction for the skipper if we chase down this Mendez guy.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my daughter anywhere near.
You've got a daughter.
Spend enough time drinking, Cole, you'll find yourself with any number of things you don't want when you're sober.
So that's why you never sober up.
Exactly.
Mendez, apartment 16. Here, the apartment's up on the top floor.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
I doubt it. Gotta get these to Ray. Size 8s could help place Mendez at the scene. Brothers could match the color and brand of the body. Consistent with Saline's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break. Captain Donald will begin to like you.
Hey, what gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there. You don't need to do this, Alonzo.
Get in and drive. I got an idea. Get him next to my window, Cole. Keep me alongside his vehicle, and I'll stop the son of a bitch. Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out.
You're under arrest for the murder of Saline Henry. Hands behind your head.
That's the cop who caught her.
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand it.
This pain to cool the lava you pump through my veins, 'cause I'm burning up for you.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
This guy was willing to write his own mother after I sweated him.
How's this guy doing?
You're behind the wheel.
You did a decent job in the Henry case, Phelps. Not bad for your first time at bat.
Thanks, Rusty.
But don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
No assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. You might get along after all.